Alrighty, welcome back to NZ Mopo Customs, or NZ Mopo Outlaw Customs, whatever you want to call me. Anyway, my name's Glenn. So anyway, these Toolpro tools from Super Cheap, 12 volt kit, some of the best price for quality tools I think I've ever bought for this form factor. Like, well, you know, for 12 volt form factor. Like I've got Makita, like bigger 18 volt tools, and they do the job good for what they are. But these small form factor, especially like this and the drill, like yeah, all of them. To be honest, I don't use this a lot, but it's really handy for when I need it, the little polisher. But this ratchet, I use the absolute living piss out of this every day. So I work in a big body shop that's like 16 guys. I use the living piss out of this all day long, pulling trucks, tractors, whatever, apart to do repairs, like smash repair stuff. And I use the drill a lot for drilling out spot welds and rivets and whatever is holding this stuff together. Use that small impact quite a bit as well. I mainly use this for if I am putting new panels on and I want to tech screw and fit panels on. So like some people use Clecos, or I use these tech screws, just 8mm head tech screw, like these things here. So I use them. They're like those little self-drilling ones. So obviously got your old panel off, you know, don't getting set up to do your fit your new panels on or whatever, you know, whatever you're welding on, depending on whether it's like an old car like we're working on here, which I work in this workshop, or if it work, you know, putting new panels on trucks or whatever. Yeah, I use this a lot for doing that. Like I'll, you know, go through and drill the holes in a panel, or I've got a ear punch for punching holes in new panels to obviously plug weld, spot weld, whatever on. But I'll use this a ton to drill the holes back in through the body to whatever, to hold it panel on, to test fit it, to make sure shit lines up before I start trying to weld it on. So I'll use a lot of these, you know, as well as obviously clamps, but I use the absolute living piss out of these. Like I bought these in a couple of different kits. So I've got two chargers. I keep one here, one at the other body shop, and I've got two of these torches, but I've only got one of everything else. I have been very tempted to go buy another set of these and have leave two here and whatever. Half I tempted to go buy another drill at some point too. Now I actually see they've got a higher torque 3/8 drive impact in this too. This one actually will borderline undo wheel nuts for the most part on just the average car. Not always, but even if I, you know, just crack them and then wind them on and off, if I got to take wheels on and off, really freaking handy, just for doing undo those sorts of things. But most bolts and nuts and whatever, these things here will undo. You know, occasionally I might have to break them with a breaker bar, you know, or a ratchet, just a regular ratchet that they won't undo. But if I'm just test fitting, putting panels on and off and brackets and lights and all that sort of shit, I would use these all day long and barely change a battery. The only one that's hard on batteries is that. Really? That's about the only one that is significantly hard on batteries. I can use these pretty much for, I would say, the most part of 2 days and not change a battery. No, it might be by the end of the second day if I've used it all day long, like, and really used it, I might be looking for another battery by the end of the second day. But generally, as a rule of thumb, the two drive, or the ratchet and the impact and the drill. Now, if I was using the drill all day, I might be looking for another battery by the end of the one day, but I could go a couple of days, couple of 3 days, if I'm just using them regularly, not all the time, but just regularly. I could probably go a couple of 3 days without changing the battery. But I've got 4 of them, just these regular, what are they, 2 amp hour batteries. I've been tempted to buy a couple of 4 amp hour ones, or just even one, especially on that polisher if I want to use it. I mainly use it for just a little bit of detail work or polishing headlights. It comes in really freaking handy for that. Like I've got a big, whatever it is, 7-inch or 9-inch, just regular polisher. I've got this. Now, I don't need the little one all the time for polishing cars or whatever, but it's really, really handy for doing a little bit of detail work. I'm just actually doing some cleanup on this studio bike at the moment. It's getting ready to go for upholstery, and just unfortunately, because in here I don't have a paint booth, 9 times out of 10 I'm spraying in the same shed as I'm storing something if I'm working on it. Even though I've covered it up a lot, it's still got a bit of overspray, so I'm just giving it a clean up before it goes for upholstery. Eventually at some point I'll get somewhere where I can either have a booth or maybe even better drag it into the workshop I work out. But I try to spray stuff here. You know, I would like to move somewhere maybe better that I can have a makeshift booth or something, so I'm not getting overspray or everything. But yeah, I just, for the money that these things cost, like it really, probably $100 a tool is what they cost me. I think I paid a little bit over $500, but then I also got 2 chargers, 2 torches as well. So I call them about $100 a tool with a battery. On the average, if you get them at the right price, you fucking can't beat them. I've had these, I would say 15, 16 months. I think I bought these in, say September, October 2023. It's now mid-February 2025, and I haven't killed one of these yet. And they come with a 3-year warranty. So for the price of them, if I can kill one in 3 years, I'll replace it. Like we've got Milwaukee 12-volt stuff at work that work own. Don't have anything that is actually comparable to these. Like as in when I mean like it does the same job. But we do have some Milwaukee 12-volt stuff, and like really for the cost of what they are, they're like at least $500 a tool in New Zealand. Like I cannot complain at these for about $100 a tool. They're just fucking awesome. Like if you're in New Zealand or Australia and you want a smaller form factor, especially for working on cars and stuff like that, like this little drill is so freaking handy. Okay, it goes up to 10 mil, but I can't fault this thing. It'll do anything I want in most places I want to get into to drill a hole or drill out a spot rivet or spot weld or whatever, you know, a rivet or spot weld or whatever. That'll get into most places where bigger gear won't get. The different size difference is huge, you know. Even with the battery in, now it's quite a bit physically smaller, so you can get it into those tight little spots, especially if you only got like short, even if you just want a pilot hole, you know, I mean, you only got a short, one of those short little double-ended, say 4 mil, 1/4 inch drill bit or something like that, or an 1/8 inch drill bit. It's so fucking handy because it's small. It'll get in most places where you just can't get that, or a 1/4 drill, if you know what I mean. You know, it's bigger and bulkier. You know, it's the same with the more Makita stuff. This one, and then I've got 2 corded grinders that are both Makita. explain that very well, do I? Where's the wheel pad? That is a good question. You're around here somewhere, it doesn't matter, but yeah, like it's so big that like these here are just small and compact and still got plenty of power to undo most, you know, bolts on a car or whatever, a ute, small truck, whatever, you know what I mean? They will undo most things, you know, except for maybe suspension components and stuff like that. They'll still undo some stuff, you know what I mean? Like, but you might have to just crack it with a bar. But if you want to undo something and test fit it and put it on and take it off and put it on and take it off, if you're doing repairs like structural stuff or rust work or whatever, and you want to make sure that that part still fits in there and you want to wind the bolt right in, these will do a fucking all day long. They're just awesome. I can't fault them really for the cost. They're just absolute fucking magic. Like, they really are. Anyway, I'll leave it here. So yeah, like you just, for those couple, you know, for those, the cost of those products, they can't be beaten. They really can't. I haven't found anything else, or used anything else, you know, whether it's a Black & Decker or a, you know, like a Hitachi or a Makita or a DeWalt or a Milwaukee or a, even a Worth tools. Like we got Milwaukee and Worth battery tools at work. Like they're no fucking better, and batteries last no longer and won't do the job any better than these, you know, in those places. Just every fucking time, you know, I'll go for one of those because it's small, it's got plenty of grunt for the size, and you know, if I need a bigger fucking tool, I go get the bigger tool, if you know what I mean. But for the most part, they will undo everything that I do all day long. You could ask the guys at work. I use those fucking things all day long, and it's been a few times where they'll come and go, "Oh, can I fucking borrow your little thing because I can't get in there? You know, my tool's too big, or the other tool that work's got just won't fit in there." You know what I mean? If they want to undo a few bolts and nuts and whatever, and they're just in a tight spot, they'll come and borrow those. You know, if I'm busy fucking welding or putting something together or whatever, like not using power tools, but welding and just mucking around doing some other stuff, they'll quite often grab it and borrow it, you know what I mean? Especially like the drill and the little ratchet. That fucking ratchet's awesome. I probably really should buy another one for the price of them. You know what I mean? If I have to drag around a couple of batteries with me in my tool bag that I drag backwards and forwards from work, who cares, you know what I mean? But yeah, it would be just handy to have them here so I don't have to bring them here. But if I have to bring an extra battery every now and again, what does it matter? You know, and the batteries aren't dear either, you know what I mean? Just, you can't go wrong with them. You know, it even comes, if you buy the right kit, it even comes with a decent bag, you know what I mean? You carry shit around them. Like it even comes with that bag, which I carry hammers and screwdrivers and tools and all those in it as well, you know, dragging that backwards and forwards from the other workshop because I don't have multiples of huge amounts of tools, you know what I mean? It's been absolute freaking awesome, that bag. So yeah, if you get the right combo, you even get the bag with it. So yeah, it's just absolutely freaking awesome. I can't recommend them enough for what they are. And they keep adding to the line. I've noticed that they've added some extra stuff to them in the line, like you can get a soldering bolt and fucking all sorts of things. I'll be tempted to buy some of those other ones eventually, if you know what I mean, if I need them. But you just can't, like, you really, for the price, you can't go wrong. I just can't iterate that enough. So yeah, and the other thing is, I really want to thank Bill from Solar Garage. He's actually my first proper channel member. I've never really ever done anything with it because we've never had any channel members up until now, so I might have to investigate into that a little bit more. But if you want to help me along and become a channel member, I've just set it at, I think it's $3.99 New Zealand, so at American it's probably only a couple of bucks a month, so it doesn't make, you know, it's not a big outlay if you really want to help me along. And also there is obviously, you know, other ways to help contribute if you want to, you know, help me along. But anyway, like, I don't expect it, but you know, any little bit of help is much appreciated.